Another thing that I like about Ruin, aside from just the chemistry and the comfort that you all have with each other, you brought in two very well-known musicians from Los Angeles who are known for being super heavy, but yet the band is not saturated with heaviness. It has a combination of so many traits of extreme music in itself.
You know, the funny thing is it ended up being Dan and Steve, and they play in Destroy Judas.
Loud band.
Loud, but amazing. Probably the best band in the Western Hemisphere, actually. It's literally classic middle era Neurosis, just way more emotional in a sense, but they do it so well. But I was joking with Dan when I first hit him up, and I was like, I want your guitar sound and your performance to be the complete opposite of everything you do in Destroy Judas. So everything pretty and positive and atmospheric and emotional, turn it the other way, and it's dark, dismal, putrid, stinky. I want maggots coming out of your guitar cabinets. It's good, the other spectrum of sound of what you do. And you know, he was laughing and he's all about it. I mean, Dan wrote the old Mind Rot stuff, and Mind Rot, the 1990 demo, the Faded Dream promo in 92, some of the biggest influences on Ruin stuff by far. I've been a fan of them for a long time, friends with those guys. So it was really easy for me, and I was honored that Dan actually said, fuck it, yeah, I'll jam, you know, because I was like, dude, Destroy Judas is fucking means business, and he's a postal employee, so he's busy as shit.
Yeah.
The fact that he actually takes time, not only to help me out with live, but you know, he is actually joining the band in a sense and becoming a part of the songwriting unit here hopefully soon. And we have an album we're working on right now, and I'd like to get him involved in the writing, and it's just worked out so well, you know, with him. And we did have a couple bass players to help out with live performances and come and go, and then Steve obviously came along to help us out with our last show when we needed someone to help out. So that was the War Master show, I believe. And Steve, I mean, Steve's infamous for being in like 90 bands at all times, you know. And again, he's busy. The motherfucker jams, you know, so he can play bass, guitar, everything, you know. So it was just, and he's a great guy just like Dan. They literally practice in the studio across the hall from us now at this point, so all they got to do is come to the next room and we jam, and it just fits like a glove for David and I.
Would it be safe to say that this is the unit for now?
We want it this way, you know, because especially with David, you know, David's real quiet and unassuming, but you know, I didn't even have to ask him. He just told me, I'd like to keep jamming with these guys. Nice. David's very misanthropic. He's a fucking, you know, he goes back to the black metal scene and shit. Very hateful individual, and that's why he pounds the shit out of his drums, and it's perfect for what I wanted to do. And for him to say that, it spoke volumes to me. And why, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Yeah, so exactly. Dan and Steve rule. They've always been good friends of mine, and I didn't want to fuck up the good shit that David and I have going, so to speak. The camaraderie, the friendship, the brotherhood. Bringing those two guys in reminds me, the one thing we do have in common with Gravehill is the brotherhood. And I think that's really important. I always told Rhett, you know, you have 5 individuals that make a fist, you know, so we have 4 that make a fist now, and it's a stronger unit that way. So David and I are good, just us two writing and recording and doing this and that. We're not going to sound as good live without these guys.
I actually enjoy the complete unit. You mentioned new music. You going to be recording an album?
We are. We have 5 or 6 split releases coming out here shortly, and once they get finalized, we will send information out to everybody. Actually, the labels will be hitting everybody up about that, so I'm sure your Facebook page will get inundated with shit.
Will it be in the same vein as what you've
Absolutely,
yeah. The same writing process as well?
Another thing, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We are not, if anything, we want to get worse in that sense, in a good way, right? We want to get worse, we want to get heavier, sicker, more dark, everything. So we're going to try to, even the production, no shit, we're trying to get worse with our sound. I have an engineer, my buddy Gary, that's helping us out. He's got the old Sunlight Studios soundboard now, so we're doing everything in analog and all this crazy shit. So it's the SEC 182. I don't know, I'm not a tech geek like those guys, so I don't even remember what the fuck it's called, but same goddamn board that Skokesbird used in Sunlight. So it really gets just a insane sound, you know, for this extreme metal stuff. So we're trying to just get heavier and sicker as we go. So Now the album, the CD is going to be out on the Spanish label Memento Mori. Vinyl will be out on Blood Harvest.
Nice.
And then my buddy Robert, who did Nero One Records, he did the demo. He's going to do a co-release on cassette tape with John Von Frost Records up in Canada. So we have 4 labels working in conjunction together on doing this. But I think, in this day and age, as you have noticed, I'm sure, even, we're fucking old farts now, but, certain labels specialize in certain things these days. You don't have a Roadrunner and Earache that do all formats. You got your cassette labels that really cater to the cassette crowd, which seem to be that younger generation getting back into tapes again.
Yeah.
Then you got your vinyl, which is just blown the fuck up, so that's Rodrigo and Blood Harvest really specializes in that. And then Raul in Spain, he still sells CDs. So I was like, really? Okay, cool. If that's the case. And
all formats, you'll be covered.
Dude, you want to do it, I mean, I don't buy as many CDs as I used to for obvious reasons. We have all kinds of other formats now, especially with records, doing all these crazy vinyl re-releases and shit. So plus you blow your fucking bank on that shit anyways. It's all $100 for a Taxi Driver soundtrack, for Christ's sakes, with Yellow Cab vinyl, Of course, I had to go buy that, but yeah, it's so that the full length will be coming out on that. We actually have 3 more splits, 7-inch and I think cassette coming out next year as well. So we're going to stay busy. David and I, the way the process kind of goes is David and I get together, start throwing ideas and riffs together, and then Steve and Dan hopefully will come over the top. Those guys are so good. All they're going to do is just improve things in a putrid way, hopefully. If we start getting too, how do I say, too progressive or fucking forward thinking with the approach or the attack, that's when it's like, let's dumb it down some more.
See, this is the beauty. It's your band. It's your vision. It's where you want to go. And you're not in any way, shape, or form committed to not doing what you don't want.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, you're right.
You've been playing selective shows here in Los Angeles. When are you going to take these shows outside of LA?
That's the whole thing right now.
Do you want to do this?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we're in talks with fest promoters and shit worldwide. Technically, it's just a matter of these days. It's really expensive, obviously, to do all that. Even if you get 4 guys traveling in a van, that's gas, flying the fucking flights. Our profile is rising. There's a nice little buzz here, and it seems to be positive and growing, but we're in no way, shape, or form in any position right now to get flown out to Denmark for a festival or anything. So we don't know if something's going to happen like that. If we have the opportunity to go fly somewhere overseas, we'll do it. It's just a matter of we can work out the logistics and everything. We're totally about it. I mean, I think anybody would be ignorant if they wouldn't want to. We're living the dream here, man. You know what I mean? We see my friends doing it, and it's like, fuck, dude, this is fucking amazing. I want to go do that too. Yeah. So, and one thing I didn't get to do with Gravehill that Rhett and I did set out to do, the one goal we didn't accomplish was Europe.
Wow.
So that's what I want to do with Ruin, and I hope Gravehill gets over there too. Like I told Rhett, I'd be the biggest fucking fan for you guys if you finally did that. It'd be like, I'd be with you, in a sense. It'd be like, we accomplished that. We did everything else, and then we finally did the final nail in the coffin, was getting to Europe. So, and I want to do that for Ruin too. We'll just have to see how everything works out. The plan right now is to get all these releases out, so the profile is kind of raised a little bit, and we start seeing it, because right now it's all self-promotion, word of mouth.
Time's on your side.
Guys like you and local heads that have either seen us or just really like the demo, spreading the word for us, raving about us. We've been very lucky. No, seriously, you've done that for a lot of people, Jimmy. You know what I mean? So for you to feel the same way about us and think that we're doing the right thing and doing good music means a lot to us, man. So I appreciate it, because honestly, I think you and I have really similar music tastes, and you technically, as far as I can see, you like the cream of the crop. You're not wasting your time on shit.
You like Culture Club too?
Culture Club fucking rules, dude. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
This is what's interesting about growing. This is what's interesting about being a musician and venturing on. Your audience tends to become very, very addicted to what you are. But when you turn around and you completely do a whole new thing, not only does it cause an appetite, it brings a whole new identity to yourself and refreshes the whole reason why we do this in the first place, for the love of it.
Yep.
Ruin, Don't go by what they say. They love what they're doing, but they'll ruin your hearing. They're fucking great. Check them out live. Michael Abominator, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Really appreciate it.
We're out.